गुड आफ्टरनून।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं अभी।
सर एक डाउट था लास्ट में।
बोलो क्या डाउट है वरेद?
सर जब हमने रिएक्शन विद अमोनिया किया था डाइबोरिन का, तभी हमने BH NH3 ट्वाइस प्लस और BH4 माइनस बनाया था ना।
BH2 NH3 होल 2 प्लस प्लस BH4 माइनस।
हाँ सर, तो मतलब डाउट था कि ये अडक्ट क्यों नहीं बना था।
क्या नहीं बनाता? एडिशन प्रोडक्ट क्यों नहीं बनाता?
अडक्ट, हाँ अडक्ट क्यों नहीं।
हाँ देख, मतलब अमोनिया वाला रिएक्शन में थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ। इट्स
हाँ
नॉट
सर।
दैट कि हर जगह वही लॉजिक लगेगा, बट अगर अमाइन बल्की है तो इट गिव्स अ सिमेट्रिकल फिशन ऑफ डाइबोरिन, जहाँ पे डाइबोरिन दो पार्ट में अलग अलग इक्वली डिवाइड हो जाता है।
हाँ।
अगर अमाइन बल्की नहीं है, स्मॉलर अमाइंस है, तो
हाँ।
एक ही बोरोन से दो अमाइन अटैच होता है। एक ही बोरोन से दो अमाइन अटैच होगा तो इट विल रिजल्ट इन फॉर्मेशन ऑफ BH4 माइनस एंड BH2 NH3 होल 2। स्मॉलर अमाइन के केस में दो नाइट्रोजन एक ही बोरोन से बॉन्ड बना सकता है, बिकॉज ऑफ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रॉन डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ द बोरोन एटम।
हाँ 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 सर। हाँ सर।
टेस्ट में कोई डाउट है क्या?
सर मोस्ट ऑफ दी चीजें उससे ही थी, नोट से।
हाँ हाँ, जितना असाइनमेंट और बुकलेट वगैरह दिया था उसमें से ही था। ठीक है, चलो ठीक है। ठीक है, तो पी ब्लॉक कंटिन्यू करते हैं। लास्ट टाइम हमने पी ब्लॉक में बोरोन और बोरोन के कंपाउंड्स कंप्लीट किए थे। नाउ विल स्टार्ट विद एल्यूमिनियम एंड इट्स कंपाउंड्स। ठीक है, एक मिनट रुकना। स्क्रीन विजिबल है अभी?
यस सर।
यस सर।
ठीक है, स्टार्टिंग विद एल्यूमिनियम एंड इट्स कंपाउंड। सबसे पहले एलिमेंटल एल्यूमिनियम, एल्यूमिनियम मेटल का एक्सट्रैक्शन देखेंगे। ठीक है, we'll discuss extraction in more details in the metallurgy chapter, but brief में यहाँ पे extraction explain किया है मैंने। It is extracted from the most important ore of aluminium, that is bauxite। ये bauxite से aluminium का हम extraction करते हैं। Bauxite is a partially hydrated aluminium oxide, जिसमें oxide भी present है और hydroxide भी present है। Okay, the bauxite can be represented as Al2O3.XH2O or can be represented as AlOX OH3 minus 2X. It is a partially hydrated aluminium oxide that contains hydroxide ions as well as oxide ions. The preparation method involves dissolving bauxite in hot concentrated NaOH and filtering the solution. Sodium aluminate is formed which dissolves, and impurities are collected as residue which do not dissolve. Sodium aluminate is acidified to form aluminium hydroxide, which on strong heating gives pure Al2O3 or alumina. And it is from alumina we carry out electrolytic reduction to extract aluminium metal. Okay, the next है Hall-Héroult process. Hall-Héroult process is the extraction of aluminium from Al2O3, और इससे previous जो process है उसको Bayer's process बोलते हैं, which is used to obtain pure Al2O3 from bauxite. ठीक है, तो बॉक्साइट से पहले प्योर Al2O3 एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे, फिर प्योर Al2O3 से एल्यूमिनियम एक्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे यूजिंग द हॉल-हेरोल्ड प्रोसेस। हॉल-हेरोल्ड प्रोसेस में क्या करते हैं हम? एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड को क्रायोलाइट और फ्लोरस्पार से मिक्स करते हैं। क्रायोलाइट इज Na3AlF6, फ्लोरस्पार इज CaF2। क्रायोलाइट एंड फ्लोरस्पार आर एडेड टू Al2O3, the mixture is melted or fused and then electrolyzed using carbon और graphite electrodes। ठीक है, रिएक्शंस मैंने नेक्स्ट पेज में लिखा है। क्लियर है ये पॉइंट्स?
यस सर।
ठीक है, नोट कर लो। टर्न करूं?
सर 2 मिनट
2 मिनट।
अभी टर्न करूं?
यस सर
Yes, sir.
Reactions at cathode, aluminium is reduced. Al3 plus ions are reduced to give aluminium. At anode, oxide ions are oxidized to give oxygen gas. This oxygen combines with carbon at anode, graphite anode, it combines with oxygen produced to give CO2. The overall reaction is Al2O3 reacts with carbon to give Al and CO2. But it is different from carbon reduction. It's not that carbon is used as a reducing agent. There are many metals which are extracted by carbon reduction. जैसे iron का extraction करते हैं हम carbon reduction से, where Fe2O3 hematite is heated with carbon in a furnace, in which carbon reduces Fe2O3 to give Fe. But Al2O3 cannot be reduced by carbon directly because of higher reactivity of aluminium. So therefore, Al2O3 is reduced by electrolysis using graphite anodes and graphite cathodes. Okay? Overall reaction, although is similar to a carbon reduction, but it is not a carbon reduction method. Clear है ये point? in the Hall-Héroult process, in the electrolytic reduction of Al2O3, we mix some cryolite and fluorspar. And the purpose of adding cryolite and fluorspar is decreasing the melting point and increasing the electrical conductivity. Al2O3 is a very high melting solid. It is used as a refractory material. It is very difficult to obtain molten Al2O3 or fused Al2O3. It must be mixed with some other substances such as chlorite and fluorspar to reduce its melting point so that it can be easily converted into the liquid state so that it can be electrolyte. So cryolite and fluorspar, they are added to reduce the melting point and to increase the electrical conductivity of the mixture. Okay. So these are some important points regarding extraction of aluminium. Now we'll be discussing some properties of aluminium. इसमें से कुछ reactions हमने already general properties of group 13 में किया है. वापस एक बार aluminium के specific कुछ reactions देखेंगे. Aluminium की physical properties, it is a silvery white metal having a metallic luster. Density is 2.7, melting point is 660 degrees Celsius. It is definitely heavier than water, but it is a lightweight metal. Aluminium is a lightweight metal, much lighter than iron or other heavy metals such as lead or tin. So it is a much lighter metal and it has a high melting point, high enough melting point. So generally it is used for making lightweight aircraft parts, parts of ships, tanks, etc. So aluminum alloys are widely used in making aircraft parts and ships parts. Okay. Talking about chemical properties, although it reacts with oxygen in air, but on reaction, it loses its metallic luster. A protective oxide coating gets deposited over the surface of aluminium, which prevents further reaction. ये point पहले भी discuss किया है हमने कि aluminium के ऊपर aluminium oxide का एक protective layer होता है, which makes it rather inert and which makes aluminium non-reactive towards water as well as air. Clear है ये points?
Yes, sir.
नोट कर लो.
So density and melting point, do we have to like learn it and remember?
Not required to memorize the values. Okay. Just to give an idea about density and melting point, the range at which aluminium melts and what is the density. Iron ki density around 5.6. Okay. Mercury is 13.6. Aluminium is 2.7. It is one of the lighter metals. Turn करूं page?
Yes, sir.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Powdered aluminium, however, burns in air on strong heating to give Al2O3 and aluminium nitride. Al2O3 hydrolyzes to give aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium nitride hydrolyzes to give aluminium hydroxide and ammonia. Okay. 1 mole of aluminium nitride consumes 4 moles of H plus in neutralization, because 1 mole of aluminium nitride gives a triacidic base aluminium hydroxide which consumes 3 moles of H plus, and 1 ammonia also which consumes 1 H plus. So effectively 1 mole of aluminium nitride consumes 4 moles of H plus in neutralization with aqueous solution of an acid. Red hot aluminium is used to absorb nitrogen and oxygen gas. Okay, it is used to remove air, the remaining air from vacuum tube. The red hot aluminium is widely used to absorb nitrogen gas as well as oxygen. So we can say that it is used to absorb air. We'll write this point. It is used to absorb nitrogen and oxygen gases. When heated with halogens, it forms aluminium halides. Chlorine के साथ aluminium chloride बनता है. Being metallic with a negative reduction potential, it reacts with dilute acids to liberate hydrogen gas. However, aluminium is rendered passive with concentrated HNO3. ये पहले भी point कराया मैंने. Concentrated HNO3 is an oxidizing agent. It oxidizes and forms a protective oxide coating over aluminium, which prevents further reaction. So aluminium is rendered passive. It made passive on reaction with concentrated HNO3. ठीक है? Clear है ये points?
Yes, sir.
Note कर लो जल्दी से.
सर 4H प्लस कैसे हो फिर से बताओ ना.
देखो एल्यूमिनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड जो प्रेजेंट है, जो फॉर्म हो रहा है, एल्यूमिनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड इज न्यूट्रलाइज्ड बाय 3H प्लस एंड अमोनिया इज न्यूट्रलाइज्ड बाय 1H प्लस. तो टोटल 4H प्लस कंज्यूम कर रहा है ना ये इफेक्टिवली. एल्यूमिनियम नाइट्राइड को जब एसिड से रिएक्ट कराएंगे तो एल्यूमिनियम नाइट्राइड का जो एल्यूमिनियम है वो एल्यूमिनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड फॉर्म करता है व्हिच न्यूट्रलाइजेस 3H plus and ammonia neutralizes 1H plus. Effectively, 1 aluminium nitride neutralizes 4H plus. ठीक है?
ओके.
So could you explain how is rendered passive again?
Rendered passive means it will turn into passive. Normally, aluminium should react with acid, either with dilute or concentrated HNO3. But on reaction with concentrated HNO3, an aluminium oxide layer gets deposited and the oxide layer is further strengthened. There is already an oxide layer, but as aluminium is further oxidized by concentrated HNO3, it will result in formation of an oxide layer which gets deposited over aluminium and prevents further contact between aluminium and acid. And it is made passive, it turns into a passive substance. Okay? So aluminium is rendered passive on reaction with concentrated HNO3. समझा?
Yes. Sir.
डन करूं अभी?
Yes.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Aluminium being amphoteric also reacts with bases to liberate hydrogen gas. ठीक है, aluminium और NaOH का reaction लिखा हमने. We have also discussed this in reactions of NaOH, that NaOH reacts with amphoteric metals to liberate hydrogen gas. One important use of aluminium is aluminium powder is used as a reducing agent for reduction of oxides of metals that are less reactive than aluminium. So many transition metal oxides such as manganese, iron and chromium oxides can be reduced by aluminium powder, and this reduction process is called thermite reduction. It generally produces a large amount of heat. It is a highly exothermic reaction, and metal is generally obtained in the molten state in these reactions. Okay. One of the application of thermite reduction is it is used in thermite welding. Generally broken railway tracks की welding के लिए हम ये process use करते हैं, जहाँ पे Fe2O3 and aluminium powder को mix करके ठीक है heat करते हैं, ignite करते हैं. Once ignited, it reaction reduces Fe2O3 to give molten iron, which is used for welding of railway tracks. We'll discuss this more in the metallurgy chapter. ज़्यादा details में वहाँ पे construction भी explain करूँगा, how this reaction takes place, का क्या setup है. यहाँ पे बस एक ही point लिख लो कि aluminium can be used as a reducing agent to reduce transition metal oxides such as manganese, chromium and iron. Okay, clear है ये? Some other uses I have summarized. It is widely used in making household cooking utensils. It is used in making alloys. It is used for making aluminium cables. Okay, note कर लो ये points. Igniting मतलब burn करना. Generally, aluminium powder और MnO2 के mixture को एक ignition mixture के help से हम ignite करते हैं. Exact reaction during ignition we'll discuss in metallurgy. Igniting a mixture means burning a mixture. Radioactive metal oxides क्या बोल रहा है आयुष? So radioactivity is something which is property of the nucleus. It is not a property of compound. मतलब अगर कोई एक element radioactive है, तो वो element उसके oxide में भी radioactive रहेगा, उसके sulfate में भी radioactive रहेगा. So radioactivity will have no effect or almost nil effect, negligible effect on chemical properties or its ability to combine with other elements to form compounds or ability to get reduced by other substances. So radioactivity has almost no effect on other chemical properties. तो ऐसा radioactivity से कोई लेना देना नहीं है reducing agent का, ठीक है? Yes, magnesium is used to ignite the magnesium is used in the ignition mixture. जो thermite reduction है उसमें powdered magnesium और barium peroxide use करते हैं. तो magnesium is used in the ignition mixture. ये details में अभी नहीं लिखा रहा हूँ, हम metallurgy में ये details cover करेंगे. ठीक है, टर्न करो पेज।
Yes.
Yes, sir.
जिनका वॉल्यूमेट्रिक कंप्लीट हो गया है उनको अलग से एक्स्ट्रा लेक्चर अटेंड करने की जरूरत नहीं है। जिनका वॉल्यूमेट्रिक बचा हुआ था वही लोग एक्स्ट्रा लेक्चर अटेंड करेंगे, ठीक है।
Okay.
Now we'll study about compounds of aluminium. इसमें सबसे पहले let us study Al2O3. Pure Al2O3 is called alumina and it occurs naturally as minerals called bauxite and corundum. Bauxite and corundum are two important minerals of aluminium which contain Al2O3. Al2O3 is also found in many gemstones. Gemstones, the colored stones, contain Al2O3 along with some transition metal oxides. And it is the transition metal oxides that give characteristic colors to these stones. Okay? Examples of some important stones I have mentioned: topaz, sapphire, ruby, emerald. Their colors also I have mentioned. They are mainly aluminium oxides along with some transition metal oxides. Topaz contains iron oxides. Okay? Sapphire contains titanium as well as iron oxides. Ruby contains chromium oxides, and emerald contains chromium and vanadium oxides. These presence of the transition metal oxides makes these stones acquire characteristic colors. Next मैंने pure Al2O3 का preparation explain किया है, which can be prepared by strong heating of aluminium sulfate or aluminium hydroxide or even ammonium alum. Ammonium alum क्या होता है ये आगे discuss करेंगे, but heating of these compounds results in obtaining pure aluminium, pure Al2O3. नोट कर लो ये पॉइंट जल्दी से,
सर
बोलो।
वो जो आपने तो मतलब जो आपने पहले रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट वाला भी रिएक्शन बताया उससे ये फॉर्म होंगे क्या जेमस्टोन्स?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, these gemstones are naturally occurring stones, ठीक है। इन stones का composition बताया मैंने, ठीक है। उन stones में mainly aluminium oxide होता है, तो crystal में कहीं कहीं aluminium ion की जगह कोई transition metal ion होता है, ठीक है। Due to the transition metal ions they acquire characteristic colors.
Yes, okay.
ठीक है। एक मिनट रुकना, ठीक है, नोट करो तुम लोग, 1 मिनट आया। टर्न करूं पेज?
सर
minute, sir.
बोलो।
हाँ सर।
सर जितनी ज्यादा कंसंट्रेशन होगा इम्प्योरिटीज का उतना डीप कलर होगा क्या?
More number of transition metal ions will result in more intense color. हाँ।
हाँ ठीक।
सर
बोलो।
वो अमोनियम एलम का फॉर्मूला क्या है?
बता रहा हूँ, आगे बताऊंगा। एलम्स डिस्कस करेंगे अलग से सेपरेटली। इट इज एक्चुअली a mixture of ammonium and aluminum sulfate.
ओके सर।
It is a mixture of ammonium and aluminum sulfate. ठीक है, टर्न करूं अभी?
हाँ सर.
हाँ सर.
Al2O3 is insoluble in water. It reacts to form aluminium hydroxide, but which is also insoluble. So Al2O3 is insoluble in water, but dissolves in dilute acids and warm bases. Okay, it dissolves in dilute acids and NaOH. Okay, being amphoteric, it dissolves in acids as well as bases. Uses of Al2O3: it is used in extraction of aluminium. It is used for making artificial gems also. It is used as an important refractory material in metallurgical furnaces. Okay. It is used as a dehydrating agent in many reactions, organic reactions. Alcohols के dehydration के लिए use करते हैं. It exists in two different forms. One of the forms is called alpha form, and the other form is gamma form. The alpha form, also known as corundum, is the harder form. It is used to polish glass, whereas the softer form, the gamma form, is used in chromatography. ठीक है, clear है ये?
Yes, sir.
ये नोट कर लो.
Sir, what is chromatography? Hello, sir.
It was there in school, I guess, chromatography.
एक सेकेंड, ये गामा Al2O3 क्रोमेटोग्राफी समझा क्या?
सर आपका माइक ही नहीं चल रहा था अभी तक।
हाँ सॉरी, मैं फिर से बता देता हूँ. Chromatography is a separation technique. It is used to separate compounds from a mixture. ठीक है? Chromatography is a separation technique. It is used to separate compounds from a mixture. Chromatography में क्या करते हैं हम कि दो डिफरेंट फेजेस होते हैं, एक स्टेशनरी फेज और एक मोबाइल फेज. ये ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में एक चैप्टर है एनसीईआरटी में, सम बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स एंड टेक्निक्स इन ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री, उसमें कवर्ड है ये थोड़ा सा क्रोमेटोग्राफी. तो इट इज अ सेपरेशन टेक्निक. इट इज यूज्ड टू सेपरेट कंपाउंड्स फ्रॉम अ मिक्सचर. तो जनरली इसमें एक एड्सॉर्बेंट यूज करते हैं. एड्सॉर्बेंट इज अ सब्सटेंस जिसके सरफेस पे कोई दूसरा सब्सटेंस एब्जॉर्ब होता है. ठीक है, तो Al2O3 इज यूज्ड एज एन एड्सॉर्बेंट. और अगर दो कंपाउंड्स का मिक्सचर है, उसमें से एक ज्यादा एड्सॉर्ब हो सकता है, दूसरा कम एड्सॉर्ब हो सकता है, तो दोनों को हम सेपरेट कर सकते हैं यूजिंग एन एड्सॉर्बेंट. तो क्रोमेटोग्राफी इज बेस्ड ऑन एड्सॉर्बेंट डिफरेंशियल एड्सॉर्प्शन. ठीक है, in which we generally use gamma form of Al2O3. The alpha form of Al2O3 is very hard and it is generally used to polish glasses. The alpha form and gamma form are different in their arrangement of aluminium and oxide ions in their lattice. Okay? The same ionic compound can exist in different crystalline forms, and this phenomena is called polymorphism. ठीक है? और रिफ्रैक्टरी मटेरियल्स भी एक्सप्लेन किया था मैंने. अच्छा, यहाँ तक क्लियर है? कोई डाउट है इसमें?
Sir,
बोलो.
sir, is it more like isomers?
नहीं, आइसोमर्स तो नहीं बोलेंगे. पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म इज स्लाइटली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम आइसोमरिज्म. Isomerism is possible when bonds are directional. Bonds are directional, it is possible in covalent compounds. Polymorphism is different arrangement of ions. So similar term है but different है.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है? तो polymorphism same compound can exist in different forms. Isomerism में तो we can have different compounds for the same molecular formula. ठीक है?
हाँ, sir.
Refractory materials are substances which have very high melting point and which can withstand very high temperatures. ये doubts में कराया था मैंने. Refractory materials, metallurgical furnaces, ठीक है, furnaces which operate at very high temperatures, उनके inner surfaces पे हम एक refractory material की coating रखते हैं. ठीक है, generally oxides with high melting points are used. Calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, aluminium oxide, silica, etc. are used as refractory materials. ठीक है, क्लियर है ये?
सर ये
बोलो.
क्रोमैटोग्राफी वही वाला है क्या जो ऐसा पेपर पे मार्कर से वो डॉट्स ड्रॉ करते हैं?
हाँ, that is a thin layer chromatography. बहुत सारे chromatography होते हैं. thin layer chromatography, column chromatography, partition chromatography, बहुत types के होते हैं chromatography. तो उसमें से एक पेपर chromatography भी है.
ओके सर.
ठीक है?
हाँ.
टर्न करूं पेज अभी?
हाँ सर.
हाँ, sir.
Next compound we'll study about aluminium chloride. The hydrated aluminium chloride is ionic and exists as a complex ion. Second,
Sir, we can't hear you.
hydrated aluminium chloride is ionic and exists as AlCl3.6H2O. It consists of a hexahydrated aluminium ions along with chloride ions. So hydrated aluminium chloride is ionic, but anhydrous aluminium chloride is covalent and exists as Al2Cl6. So hydrated aluminium chloride is ionic, anhydrous aluminium chloride is covalent. The anhydrous form is more soluble in organic solvents such as ether, ethanol, whereas the hydrated form is water soluble. It is soluble in polar solvents, less soluble in organic solvents. The anhydrous aluminium chloride has the property of sublimation. It sublimes on heating at around 300 degrees Celsius, forming vapors of Al2Cl6, which on further heating up to 900 degrees Celsius forms monomer of aluminium chloride. Aluminium chloride vapors are obtained. The hydrated salt on heating produces aluminium oxide rather than anhydrous aluminium chloride. So hydrated AlCl3 gives Al2O3 instead of anhydrous aluminium chloride, and this is because of hydrolysis of AlCl3. This is similar to heating of MgCl2.6H2O. MgCl2.6H2O also on heating does not give anhydrous magnesium chloride, rather gives magnesium oxide. नोट कर लो, ये नेक्स्ट पेज में हीटिंग इफेक्ट और अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया है मैंने. टर्न करूं पेज?
1 minute.
2 minutes, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
Sir, done.
ठीक है, टर्न कर रहा हूं अभी। Anhydrous aluminium chloride cannot be obtained because of hydrolysis of AlCl3 in presence of water vapor. When AlCl3.6H2 is heated, it first forms anhydrous AlCl3, but as soon as it is formed, it combines with water vapors to produce Al2O3 and HCl. We cannot obtain anhydrous aluminium chloride by direct heating of AlCl3.6H2. इसके बाद नेक्स्ट हमने कुछ मेथड्स ऑफ प्रिपरेशन ऑफ एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड देखा है. Aluminum chloride can be prepared by reaction of aluminium with dilute HCl or Al2O3 with dilute HCl. It gives aqueous solution of aluminium chloride from which crystallization gives hydrated AlCl3 or AlCl3.6H2. Anhydrous aluminium chloride cannot be prepared in aqueous solution. Anhydrous aluminium chloride prepare करने के लिए aluminium को dry chlorine से react कराते हैं या फिर Al2O3 को कार्बन के साथ क्लोरीन के प्रेजेंस में फर्नेस में हीट करेंगे, विल गेट एनहाइड्रस एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड. फ्रॉम हाइड्रेटेड एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड, एनहाइड्रस एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड कैन बी ऑब्टेन्ड बाय हीटिंग इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ एन एटमॉस्फेयर ऑफ HCl. Excess of HCl prevents the hydrolysis reaction and we can obtain anhydrous aluminium chloride. ठीक है, ये सिमिलर रिएक्शन मैंने MgCl2.6H2O के लिए भी लिखाया था कि डायरेक्ट हीट करेंगे तो MgO बनेगा, but dry HCl के प्रेजेंस में हीट करेंगे तो हाइड्रोलिसिस इज प्रिवेंटेड, रिजल्टिंग इन फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एनहाइड्रस MgCl2. Similarly, AlCl3.6H2O when heated in presence of dry HCl will prevent hydrolysis and will give anhydrous aluminium chloride. An important property of anhydrous aluminium chloride is anhydrous aluminium chloride fumes in moist air. Fumes are vapors of high density. तो AlCl3 moisture के प्रेजेंस में HCl फॉर्म करता है और HCl gives white fume. So anhydrous aluminium chloride forms fumes of HCl in moist air. ठीक है, क्लियर है ये पॉइंट्स?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
नोट कर, बोलो.
sir, how does HCl prevent the hydrolysis?
देखिए ये पॉइंट हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था, मैं बता देता हूँ. ये MgCl2 में जब किया था रिएक्शन को किया था हमने, तो हाइड्रोलिसिस रिएक्शंस आर रिवर्सिबल. तो AlCl3 प्लस H2O अगर रिएक्शन लिखेंगे तो it gives AlOH whole thrice plus 3HCl. अगर पहले से लार्ज एक्सेस ऑफ HCl प्रेजेंट है, प्रोडक्ट का एक्सेस है, तो रिएक्शन इज नॉट फेवरेबल इन द फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन.
Yes, sir.
The presence of excess of HCl will make the reaction go in the backward reaction, will prevent the hydrolysis reaction.
Okay, sir. Understood.
ठीक है,
सर वो पहला पॉइंट एक और बार बता सकते हो क्या, वो अनहाइड्रस AlCl3 वाला?
कौन सा पॉइंट? Anhydrous AlCl3 is not obtained due to hydrolysis in presence of water vapor.
हाँ वो
ये वाला.
हाँ
अरे डायरेक्ट हीटिंग करेंगे तो पहले anhydrous एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड बनेगा, बट जैसे ये फॉर्म होगा इट विल अंडरगो हाइड्रोलिसिस और हीट कर रहे हैं तो इट फॉर्म्स Al2O3. ठीक है, तो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट इज Al2O3 एंड नॉट एनहाइड्रस एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड.
थैंक यू.
ठीक है, नोट कर लो ये.
सर हो गया.
ठीक है, टर्न कर रहा हूं मैं. Anhydrous aluminium chloride can also absorb ammonia. It forms a complex with ammonia similar to complex with water. It forms AlNH3 whole 6,3 plus. Anhydrous aluminium chloride with ammonia forms AlCl3.6NH3. Anhydrous aluminium chloride is also a Lewis acid and is used as a catalyst in many organic reactions. Okay. This completes aluminium chloride, its properties. Now we'll study about alums. यहाँ पे ammonium alum का formula बताऊंगा. Alums consist of a mixture of sulfates of a monovalent metal and a trivalent metal. It contains M2SO4 dot M2SO4 whole thrice dot 24H2O, where M is a monovalent cation, M dash is a trivalent cation. It actually contains hexahydrate complexes of monovalent and trivalent ions along with sulfate ions. And these are some alums: potash alum, chrome alum, ferric alum, and ammonium alum. ठीक, नोट कर लो ये फॉर्मूले सारे. फॉर्मूले याद रखने हैं. एक याद रखो पोटाश एलम, उसके रेस्पेक्ट में बाकी सब याद हो जाएगा. कैसे याद होगा देखो. पोटाश एलम K2SO4 dot Al2SO4 whole thrice dot 24H2O. Chrome alum will contain chromium 3 plus ions. Chromium 3 plus ions will replace aluminium 3 plus ions of potash alum. Ferric alum will contain Fe3 plus ions, which will replace aluminium ions of potash alum. Ammonium alum contains NH4 plus, which will replace the potassium ions of potash alum. These are some examples of alums. कभी कभी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है कि lithium does not form alums. Sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium can form alums, but lithium cannot form alums. तो ये पॉइंट ऐसे लिख सकते हैं अलग से. एक मिनट रुकना. देखो alums के लिए the alkali metal ion should form a hexahydrate complex. Hexahydrate complex, it should form 6 covalent bonds, which can be formed by metals of period greater than equal to 3. Elements of period greater than equal to 3. Lithium cannot form LiH2O whole 6, therefore lithium cannot form alum. तो ऐसे एक पॉइंट लिख सकते हैं. Lithium cannot form alums as it cannot form hexahydrate complex. It rather forms tetrahydrate complex. We cannot get a lithium alum. We can get alums from sodium or rubidium or cesium, but we cannot get alums from lithium. Clear है ये?
Yes, sir.
सर वो क्यों नहीं बनाता, एक बार फिर से बोल सकते हैं?
क्योंकि लिथियम इज अ सेकंड पीरियड एलिमेंट. तो लिथियम मैक्सिमम 4 ही वाटर मॉलिक्यूल से बॉन्डेड हो सकता है. फॉर एन alum must contain hexahydrate metal ion, in which metal ion is bonded to 6 water molecules. समझा?
हाँ.
नोट कर लिया?
Yes, sir.
Although chrome and ferric alums do not contain aluminium, but they have properties and arrangement of ions very much similar to potash alum, therefore they are still called as alums. Okay? Preparation of alums. Preparation is simple. Mix the two sulfates in 1:1 ratio. दोनों equal moles में लो. ठीक है, दोनों को generally hot water में dissolve करते हैं, and then we cool the solution so as to crystallize. ठीक है, तो mixing of the two sulfates in 1:1 ratio, 1:1 mole ratio, and crystallizing out from solution, crystallizing them from the solution results in formation of alum. So they are obtained by mixing equimolar amounts of the two sulfates and followed by crystallization. If you look at their properties, they are crystalline solids, they give acidic solutions due to cationic hydrolysis, and they swell on heating. Normally all salts with water of crystallization swell on heating. Uses, an important use of alum is they are used as mordants in dyeing industry. Dyeing industry in which we apply a color or a dye on a cloth or a fabric. Okay. So generally color do not stick to clothes or fabrics. The colors are very light. They do not stick to the clothes or fabrics. They can be easily washed away. तो अगर directly dye apply करेंगे ना clothes के ऊपर या fabric के ऊपर, तो वो color fast नहीं होता. It does not stick to the clothes. तो wash करने पे वो color निकल जाता है. So that color sticks properly to the clothes and fabric, we use some material, and that material is called as a mordant. And mordant helps in absorbing or helps in sticking the dye matter or the colored matter on the clothes and fabrics. Okay? So how does a mordant work? Potash alum जब water में dissolve करते हैं, it forms aluminium ions. Aluminium ions on hydrolysis gives aluminium hydroxide and H plus ions. The aluminium hydroxide has a property to absorb colored matter, which helps in binding the color with the clothes and fabrics, and which helps in the dyeing industry. So the substance that helps in binding colors with fabrics is called mordant, and alums are widely used as mordants in dyeing industry. Alums are also used for water purification and disinfection, and they're also used as coagulating agent to coagulate impurities and remove them. Okay, note कर लो ये points.
Sir, so like coagulating agents, like they stick together to the impurities.
देखो coagulating agents क्या होते हैं? हम colloids के बारे में अभी तक पढ़ा नहीं हमने, but surface chemistry में we'll learn about colloids. Colloids are stabilized by some electrolytes, and excess of electrolytes destabilize colloids. Colloidal particles come close to each other, they form precipitates. तो normally muddy water देंगे ना, तो muddy water में बहुत सारा suspended particles होते हैं. फिर suspended particles को सेपरेट करने के लिए उनको कोएगुलेट करना पड़ता है. कोएगुलेट करने के लिए हमें इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स चाहिए. एलम इज अ गुड सोर्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोलाइट. एलम ऐड करेंगे, एलम से एल्यूमिनियम सल्फेट और पोटेशियम आयंस मिलेंगे. इन आयंस के प्रेजेंस में कोएगुलेशन होगा और हम इंप्योरिटीज को सेपरेट कर पाएंगे. ठीक है?
Yes, sir. So like it's more of a purification method, separation.
Yes, yes. मतलब प्यूरिफिकेशन का ही पार्ट हो गया कोएगुलेशन.
हाँ sir.
डन करूं?
Yes, sir.
So 1 second, sir.
Okay. Now we'll start with group 14. Group 14 elements, carbon family. The elements are carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and lead. Carbon and silicon are non-metals. Germanium is a metalloid, and tin and lead are metals. NCERT silicon is given as a non-metal. However, many books also refer to silicon as a metalloid. But we'll follow the NCERT standard. We consider silicon as a non-metal. Studying their atomic properties, atomic size increases from top to bottom. There is no exception. However, the increase in size from silicon to germanium is very small, and also the increase in size from tin to lead is very small. We can look at this by looking at the values of their sizes. रुको मैं NCERT का data दिखा देता हूँ. Look at the variation in the atomic radius of the group 14 elements. Carbon is very small, 77. Carbon to silicon, there is a significant increase in size. Silicon to germanium, size increase होता है, but बहुत ज़्यादा increase नहीं होता. There is a very slight increase or a nominal increase, which can be attributed to the poor shielding of d electrons or the d orbital contraction. Similarly, germanium to tin, there is a significant increase, but tin से lead बहुत ज़्यादा increase नहीं होता है because of lanthanide contraction or poor shielding of f electrons. ठीक है, clear है ये?
Sir, so according to the data also, silicon and germanium should be similar, right?
The sizes are very much similar. Germanium is only slightly more.
Yes. And also the other properties, like the ionization, enthalpy, and all.
It's not only the size that affects the properties, but there will be some variations in the properties which can be related to the d orbital contractions and lanthanide contraction. Actually, silicon germanium में exceptions नहीं है ज़्यादा, but tin और lead में exceptions आते हैं. जैसे ionization energy देखेंगे, तो top to bottom ionization energy should decrease, but lead की ionization energy tin से थोड़ी ज़्यादा आती है. Only slightly more, definitely lower than germanium, but slightly more than tin. And again, this is attributed to lanthanide contraction. Overall order is carbon greater than silicon, greater than germanium, greater than lead, greater than tin. Looking at the electronegativity values also, carbon to silicon, there is a significant decrease. Then electronegativity has become almost constant. Group 13 में क्या देखा था? Boron से aluminium decrease, फिर aluminium के बाद 0.1 का increase था. यहाँ पे it becomes almost constant. Only from tin to lead it increases due to lanthanide contraction. ठीक है, clear है ये points?
Yes.
Turn करूँ page?
No, sir.
1 minute, sir. Done, sir.
Talking about melting points and boiling points, melting point and boiling point decreases from top to bottom. Only exception is there from tin to lead, where melting point slightly increases. Overall order of melting point: carbon greater than silicon, greater than germanium, greater than tin. Tin is less than lead. Lead is only having slightly greater melting point than tin, but it is less than germanium. Order of boiling point, it also decreases from top to bottom. There is no exception in the boiling point. Comparing densities, if we compare the density of graphite with silicon, germanium, tin and lead, the density regularly increases from top to bottom, but diamond is found to be heavier than silicon. The density of diamond is more than silicon, but less than that of germanium. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll talk about chemical properties. And chemical properties में सबसे पहले we'll talk about the oxidation states. The two common oxidation states that are shown by group 14 elements are +2 and +4. Okay. For carbon, silicon, germanium and tin, +4 is the most stable. For lead, +2 is the most stable. Stability of +2 increases and +4 decreases from top to bottom. ये point किया हमने inert pair effect में भी, ठीक है? नोट कर लो जल्दी से.
Sir, again for melting point, will we say that lanthanide contraction is the reason?
देखो melting point in lead or metals, तो metals में the metallic bond is the intermolecular forces, and metallic bond strength will depend on the nuclear attraction and between the electrons and the ions. So more effective nuclear charge will result in stronger attraction for electrons, will result in stronger metallic bond. So lanthanide contraction, ठीक है, results in increased nuclear charge, तो stronger metallic bond, तो stronger melting point, ठीक है?
हाँ sir.
Turn करो पेज.
एक मिनट.
सर टोटल 7 चैप्टर्स है ना इनऑर्गेनिक में?
7 चैप्टर मतलब
टोटल कितने चैप्टर्स हैं सर इनऑर्गेनिक में?
अभी क्या क्या किया हमने? कोऑर्डिनेशन, एस ब्लॉक एंड हाइड्रोजन, पी ब्लॉक, फिर मेटलर्जी, डी एंड एफ ब्लॉक भी करेंगे और सॉल्ट एनालिसिस. हो गया, 6 चैप्टर हो गए.
सर सॉलिड स्टेट तो उसमें आता है ना फिजिकल में?
फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, सॉलिड स्टेट फिजिकल।
ओके
सर सॉलिड स्टेट भी आप ही करवाओगे?
पता नहीं मुझे अभी तो, ठीक है, लेट्स सी कौन कराता है। सॉलिड स्टेट है, अभी लिक्विड सॉल्यूशंस बचा है, सरफेस केमिस्ट्री बचा है, 3 चैप्टर्स। Oxidation states में carbon is the only element among the group 14 that shows negative oxidation states also. ये carbon के कुछ negative oxidation state के compounds हैं. Generally with reactive metals it forms ionic carbides in which carbon can exist in negative oxidation states also. ठीक है? Reaction with air, all these elements react with oxygen in air to form oxides on heating. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin form dioxides, whereas lead forms monoxide. Carbon can also form monoxide. These elements can also form monoxides when reacted with limited amount of air. The excess of oxygen forms dioxides for carbon, silicon, germanium, and tin when reacted with excess oxygen. Whereas lead preferably forms monoxide because lead के लिए monoxide is the +2 is the more stable state. So CO2, SiO2, GeO2, etc. are acidic. Even silicon monoxide and germanium monoxide are acidic. Carbon monoxide is a neutral oxide. Okay? Tin and lead oxides are amphoteric. Silicon monoxide is unstable at room temperature. It is formed and obtained at very high temperatures only. At very high temperatures only, silicon, when burned in limited amount of oxygen, forms silicon monoxide, which is not stable at room temperature. Room temperature पे वापस से silicon dioxide silica बन जाएगा या silicon बन जाएगा. Then we'll study reaction with water. Okay, none of these elements react with water under cold conditions, but they will react with boiling water or steam. Okay? They will react with steam at high temperatures. Reaction मैंने next page में करा है, note कर लो ये पहले. Done करूँ page?
So last line.
Red hot carbon reacts with steam to form carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas. Okay. Preparation of water gas ये पहले भी बताया मैंने. Silicon and tin when reacted with steam at high temperatures forms silica and SnO2. PB does not react with cold water due to a protective oxide layer, but slowly dissolves in presence of oxygen to produce PbOH whole twice. Okay? And this dissolution of lead in water is also called plumbosolvency. Okay, lead dissolves in water in presence of dissolved oxygen gas to produce PbOH whole twice. PbOH whole twice is sparingly soluble, so some amount of PbOH whole twice goes into the solution. So this is the reaction with water. Now we'll discuss reaction of these elements with acid. Carbon reacts only with oxidizing acids such as concentrated HNO3, H2SO4. Silicon reacts only with HF, whereas other elements react with acids because of their increase in metallic nature. Tendency to react with acids increase. नेक्स्ट पेज में मैंने रिएक्शंस लिखा है, ये नोट कर लो पहले. लेड वाटर में ऐसे डिसॉल्व नहीं होता है, बट if water contains dissolved oxygen, lead will react with water in presence of oxygen to form lead hydroxide. टर्न करूं पेज.
2 मिनट. हाँ सर, हो गया.
Carbon react with concentrated H2SO4 and concentrated HNO3 on heating to liberate CO2 and SO2 and NO2 gases respectively. Silicon does not react with acids except HF. Silicon dissolves in liquid HF to form SiF4 and liberates hydrogen gas. SiF4 further combines with HF to give H2SiF6. Germanium does not react with dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4, but it reacts with dry HCl on heating to form GeCl4 and hydrogen gas. It also dissolves in hot and concentrated H2SO4, forming germanium dioxide. Tin dissolves in dilute and concentrated HCl to give hydrogen gas. Tin dissolves in concentrated H2SO4 to form SnSO4 and SO2 and H2O. Note कर लो ये reactions.
So why
Hello?
does silicon only react with HF while there are many other stronger acids present?
Actually silicon का HF के साथ बहुत special affinity है, in which glass also dissolves in HF. Glass does not react with HF. मतलब glass HF में dissolve हो जाता है. बहुत सारे glass bottles में हम HCl, H2SO4 ये सब store कर सकते हैं, but HF को store नहीं कर सकते. Liquid HF corrodes glass. ठीक है, तो HF का एक special reaction है silicon के साथ, एक special affinity है. It forms SiF4, silicon fluorine bond में भी बहुत strong है, which forms H2SiF6.
Sir, is the small size of fluorine the reason?
Strong silicon fluorine bond बोल सकते हैं. Strong silicon fluorine bond.
Sir, तो फिर HF को किस में store करते होंगे?
Plastic bottles में store करते हैं. HF
अच्छा.
dissolves glass, but it does not react with plastic. So plastic bottles में store करते हैं.
Okay, sir.
Sir, so does even carbon react with hydrogen fluoride?
I think it should react, yes.
And sir, so it would be like more favorable now because carbon or fluorine का मतलब more favorable होगा
Actually,
ना?
carbon does not form any compounds such as H2SiF6. ठीक है? H2SiF6 जैसा कोई compound नहीं बनता है. CF4 भी I don't think it's a well-known compound. CCl4, CBr4 तो पता है. CF4 कार्बन के HF के साथ रिएक्शन पढ़ा नहीं कहीं मैंने. देखते हैं कार्बन प्लस HF. एक मिनट रुक जाओ.
बोरोन का तो होता है लेकिन कार्बन का पता नहीं.
सर किसलिए मतलब कार्बन और फ्लोरीन का वो PP ओवरलैप होगा ना सिलिकॉन और उससे ज्यादा?
बिल्कुल होगा, बिल्कुल होगा. एक्चुअली ये जो रिएक्शन कॉन्क H2SO4 और कॉन्क HNO3 के साथ भी लिखा है ना, ये स्पेसिफिकली ग्राफाइट डायमंड के लिए डिफरेंट रिएक्शंस होते हैं. डायमंड बहुत ज्यादा ही इनर्ट होता है. ग्राफाइट रिएक्ट्स डिफरेंटली एट डिफरेंट टेम्परेचर. ठीक है, अमॉर्फस कार्बन ऑन हीटिंग विद कॉन्क H2SO4 एंड कॉन्क HNO3 विल गिव CO2. HF का कार्बन के साथ रिएक्शन ये देख के बताता हूँ मैं. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा स्टडी करना पड़ेगा HF का कार्बन के साथ क्या रिएक्शन है. तब तक एक और कुछ और रिएक्शंस लिख लो. ठीक है, जहाँ पे टिन और लेड के रिएक्शंस लिखे हमने एसिड के साथ. टिन प्लस डाइल्यूट HNO3 gives stannous nitrate along with ammonium nitrate, whereas tin plus concentrate HNO3 gives metastannic acid. तो ये tin का concentrate HNO3 के साथ एक यूनिक रिएक्शन है, ये नोट कर दो, इम्पोर्टेंट है. ठीक है. Lead does not dissolve in dilute HCl because of formation of protective layer of PbCl2. Okay. But it dissolves in concentrated HCl because PbCl2 dissolves in conc HCl, forming a water-soluble complex. Okay. PbCl2 is also soluble in hot water. So lead will dissolve in dilute HCl when heated. It reacts with dilute nitric acid, liberating NO gas. But with concentrated HNO3, a protective oxide layer is formed over lead, which prevents further reaction. This covers the reaction of group 14 elements with acids. ये reaction with alkalis next time करते हैं.
सर बस वही बाकी है क्या ग्रुप 14 में एल्किल के साथ?
Reaction with alkali बच गया, फिर reaction with some non metals करेंगे, reaction with halogens, reaction with hydrogen, reaction with sulfur. ठीक है, इसके बाद फिर compounds करेंगे. पहले allotropes of carbon करेंगे, allotropes of carbon, and then we'll do compounds.
Okay.
सर तो ग्रुप 14 के लिए सर और कितना लेक्चर्स लगेंगे?
I think 2 lectures में हो जाना चाहिए. हो गया ये?
नहीं सर.
मैं एक असाइनमेंट शेयर करूंगा, उसमें से फिर ग्रुप 13 के क्वेश्चंस करने हैं. ठीक है, ग्रुप 14 बुकलेट में 13 14 एक साथ दिया हुआ है, तो ग्रुप 14 करने के बाद फिर हम बुकलेट सॉल्व करेंगे. ठीक है, बाकी मैं नोट शेयर कर दूंगा, नोट कर लेना, कॉपी कर लेना. ठीक है,
ओके.
यस सर.
सर आप 1 मिनट प्रीवियस पेज सर बता सकते हो?
1 मिनट रुक जा. हाँ, बोल.
हाँ सर हो गया. थैंक यू.
ठीक है, लेक्चर एंड करता हूँ अभी. थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सर.
सर वीकेजी का भी सर पीडीएफ भेज दोगे ना?
हाँ भेज दूंगा.
थैंक यू सर.
चलो ओके.